guys, we're here in Cuatro Aguas in the beautiful surrounding just outside Tavira, and we got lovely Gabi with us who reached out to the Frankie Foundation via social media, and you do so much good for the local community, and you got your own association now with your husband under the name Pakadora. So tell us a little bit how you got started and what you actually do.
Okay, so we got started when we arrived in our little village nearly 3 years ago now, and we noticed that there were cats there, that feral cats that were obviously hungry, some of them looked quite poorly. So we just started feeding them and realised that nobody was really taking care of them, and that they were actually feral cats, they were street cats. So we decided to take responsibility for the community within the community, and so all the villagers were quite happy that we took that responsibility on. We started to sterilise them, but not just sterilise them. We decided to test before sterilisation as well, and for some, if they had horrible diseases, so we can manage the colony properly. We feed them every day. They obviously have welfare checks, and then we basically replicated that now. So we've got 4 colonies around in our area. And we also support others that have taken street cats on, whether it's just feeding them or they need help with sterilisation.
That's a very nice program. I mean, it's very similar a little bit what we do. I mean, we're not here all year round, but I have got my beach cats, which are over there at Algarve, which we feed, and we had them sterilised, and it's very rewarding. And you know, it would be great if more people like yourself, just private people, would do that, you know, and it's a fantastic thing. So what is your long-time vision, or what's your goals you like to achieve with animal welfare?
Yeah, I've got long-term goals, but they're all sort of put on hold at the moment. But our short-term goals are really just to obviously give the awareness of what we're doing, so let people know that we're there. Because when we first started, even though I'm not new to animals or animal welfare, I was new to sort of the system in Portugal with sterilisation and trapping and that sort of thing, and I was a bit overwhelmed. And I want people to know that if they want to help the street cats, but they may be a bit worried about taking it on, that, you know, we can advise them and try and support them.
So if anybody sees feral cats in their areas, they could always call you up and get advice.
Absolutely.
What the next step is, because like I said, it's very important. I luckily had somebody as well who guided me a little bit, because I saw these cats and I thought this could be a problem long term if you have 10 cats and they're not sterilized. And luckily we found some very good people to help us and guide us, and it's fantastic. So I think that's very, very important, because people don't know where to start, you know, or what to do the right thing. There's brilliant people like yourself. And how can people actually help your association? And
gosh, right, first of all, if you have a cat, then obviously get it sterilised. Encourage anybody who has a cat to get them sterilised. If there is a financial reason that they can't, you know, they're worried about getting them sterilised because it's at the cost, again, get in touch. We will always try and help there, and if we can't help, we will try and find somebody that may be able to help you. I just think it's really important to share our social media, because we are a new association and a lot of people don't know that we're out there. So they may be thinking that they want to help these cats, but may be worried about taking that responsibility on until they've had some advice. So share, look at us on social media and share us and like our pages. That would be really helpful.
And sure, food as well. You go through a lot
donations.
Of food, you say, you know.
We like to support the local economy, so we use our local shop and our local vet for supplies, but we do have an Amazon wish list on our website, because we have supporters from other countries. And not just food, all sorts of things, you know, even microchip readers and things like that we can give out to volunteers. That always helps. All sorts of equipment, puppy pads when we're sterilising and things like that. There's lots. It's all on that list on our website.
And that's good, because I see sometimes cats get sterilised but then still need to be taken care of. I know cats are quite imaginative, or they can handle in the wild. But long term, if there's so many of them, you know, they need support, and they need people who help the colonies to feed. So, you know, like anybody, I know there's registered colonies through the Camera,
Yeah.
but we have a little rota going as well. And actually, I think when you get to people, they're willing to help.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
you know, so that's fantastic that you actually can be, through your experience, can help people. And please reach out to Gabi. She's really nice, and I learned a lot from her today talking. So that's brilliant. Thank you so much for coming all the way from Benafim to Tavira. So with the beautiful surrounding, it's a bit more windy than normal, but hopefully the topic interests you. And please reach out. We will share all the comments below and all your social media and website. So if you just tell us your website where they can reach you.
It's pakadora.com, and the Facebook page is Pakadora Association /PDA.
Fantastic, great. So please reach out to Gabi
Thank
for
you.
any questions. And you obviously chosen a very unique name for your association, Pakadora. How did that come about, that name?
Okay, Parker is one of the cats that we found in our shed back in the UK before we moved to Portugal. So obviously that was the first that we used, Parker. And Dora is the first street cat that we've actually adopted. She actually lives outside our little house. And she's a feisty little cat. She's got wobbly syndrome. She falls over a lot, but she's very, very feisty. And it just made sense that the association should be named after those two. They're the founding cats. We do what we do because of them, really.
Excellent, excellent. That's a very nice story, and it's great that you dedicated. That's how we basically, our Frankie Foundation is based on the same thing, and it means something to you. And these street animals, or these animals who find you, they definitely touch you, and they push you in a certain direction. I think
they definitely found us. We were coming to have a couple of years off, and that didn't happen.
I know, but I think they must sense the people who are really open and they love animal, and they find you. You know, you never adopt it; they adopt you.
Yes, it's true. But like you say, they give us so much pleasure. They're just, I love them all. I love them all very much. But I respect them as well. Yeah. They are street cats, and I respect their space. And
it's great. And you know, they get cared for, and they still have their freedom, and it's brilliant. And you also see the kids from the local community showing interest in projects like that.
Absolutely. What surprised me, which, you know, we do need to educate the younger generation, definitely. And what has surprised me is I have had children in the village come and actually try to play with the cats. I've had to explain that they are feral cats, and they, you might get a swipe, but it's not discouraged them, and they've come down and they've given them food, and that's nice to see, so that they're realizing that they're actually pets, not seen as vermin as they have done previously.
Yeah, and I think that's a very important point to show the kids that there is no fear, and they can get so much out. I think you learn a lot from the animals, and it's a super combination, kids and animals. So
and the cats, I must say, the other thing is the cats love the children and myself and other people visiting them, because they love the interaction. You know, if a cat was a domestic cat at home, they'd be getting lots of attention and cuddles, and that's a lot of the time the cats on the street do want that company. They may not want you to touch them all the time, but they do want that company. They really do enjoy people's company and the children's company.
Fantastic. That's brilliant.